I'd like to welcome you to Bunkai Gaming. My name is Matt. Today I'd like to talk about Battlefield Hardline and just some of my feelings and thoughts about how the beta played out. I felt the game mechanics were really good, and especially the way they've handled the vehicles and the way they drive. They felt a lot smoother. This allows the game to be more infantry centric and prevents this case where vehicles become this dominating factor in the game. Weapon balance was good, and the system to allow you to purchase weapons is a great way to unlock weapons you enjoy more quickly. And it's balanced out with requiring service stars to be unlocked to get a lot of the attachments, which still gives you that little bit of grind factor. So what about the game modes? I have to say I enjoyed Heist over Blood Money more because I felt it was more strategic and had a better flow in the gameplay. Blood Money was usually extremely chaotic and most people didn't even know what was going on at the time. But I'm really interested to see what other game modes will be available in the full game. So what were some of the negative points of the beta? I can't say I'm a big fan of the Survivalist perk. I can feel that I feel at times that it can be unbalanced. I know they've recently patched it and talked about it changing, but there's always this concern in the back of your mind that when you take down an opponent, that are they truly dead or do they have the Survivalist perk? And the worst part of it is that the fact is if they do revive themselves, you can suddenly be facing an entire squad behind you because they've managed to revive themselves. If they can balance it nicely into the game, I'm happy to see it be included, but I've still got some apprehensions at this time about it. So another point where I'm questioning a lot of things is they still use this traditional 4-class system from Battlefield. The Engineer class felt underwhelming at times, and I'm thinking along the lines of maybe replacing the RPG with some kind of handheld grenade launcher with a limited amount of rounds to destroy the armoured vehicles. This is a smaller piece of equipment and will make more sense over an RPG in a city environment. I really commend EA and Visceral Games for such an early beta release. I feel that this shows they're committed to giving us a game that is more enjoyable and avoid a lot of the problems that occurred in the Battlefield 4 release. The Community Most Wanted program also shows that Visceral Games is listening to the community and trying to balance out and resolve these issues before the game's release. But I feel that the general consensus from people is that Hardline feels like a Battlefield expansion or DLC. This is like reading the first couple chapters of a book and then throwing it down and saying the story is absolutely terrible. We've only seen a very small section of the game, and I think it's only fair to hold judgment back until we see the full game. I think the upcoming beta later in the year will also give us more insight to how the full game looks and feels. Others have also said that the game is basically a reskin of Battlefield and is not worth the money. I don't believe this is true. Let's look at some of the other FPS titles in the market. Call of Duty. At its core, every year the guns are reskinned, the attachments are reskinned, the perks are reskinned in different ways, different game modes, but at its core it's still the same game. Yet we still pay full price year after year for that title, don't we? I think it's up to the individual to make the choice to whether they think the game is worth the price or not. But I do believe this game can actually stand on its own as an independent game and will be an excellent addition to the Battlefield series. My one concern I do have is the longevity of this game, and will it fill the void until EA's next big title hits in the shelves in 2015? There's been a lot of multiplayer games of late that have had very active communities for the first couple of months and they've died off very quickly after that. One point I would like to address from the Australian perspective is the price that we are being charged here, especially for digital downloads. I mean, we're paying upwards of sometimes $80 to $100 for new release games, and I just cannot see the justification for the price system when compared to other countries. So please let me know your thoughts below about your Hardline experience and if you're going to pick up the game at launch. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.